Hello everyone, welcome to Right Views. Today we are going to start another series called Understanding India. Now early on, it was evident that we needed some sort of a mechanism to explain the Indian information, the Indian news, Indian data for non-Indian audience. However, recently I realized that it is not just relevant for non-Indians, but also it is required for Indians to understand the context of where the country is. Now it is required because what we understand as our lived experience in our own country does not tally with what kind of news, information, data that comes out from our country. And that is because of the essential diversity of this country. However, that is not a problem, but we need some mechanism to explain it. And this is the series where we are going to explain some of these issues. Now today we are going to tackle one of the very first question, and that is, where are we? Where are we in terms of being an Indic civilization that started so long far back? Where are we now? The answer to that question is very simple. We are at point C. That will make sense once you look at this chart. Now the overall arc of Indic civilization starts from point A, goes to B, which is the glory days of Indic civilization, and we are now at point C. Now the point is that when was A? We don't know. Was it 10,000 BCE? Was it 24,000 BCE? There is research being conducted and we are trying to find out when was point A. Then it was definitely clear that we were a progressive society. We are a progressing society. We progressed from A to B. At point B, we were definitely at the glory days where we had invented the zero, we had calculated the distance of planets, we had some understanding of solar system, the universe, we had advanced science, advances in metallurgy, engineering, design, construction. But from that point on, India for the next maybe 500, 600 or 700 years faced relentless and barbaric invasions, and these invasions just took away time, effort, resources to fight them. We were successful many of the times. We failed in a couple of instances, and that failure turned out to be a big problem for us. However, we continued to fight. The civilization continued to resist, and finally today at point C, we are free. We are the master of our own destiny, and it is indeed a glorious achievement, but it has come at a tremendous cost. And I don't mean the cost of lives and blood, sweat and tears, the sacrifice, the sheer effort of fighting 700 years against invaders of all stripes. That is just one part of the cost. Imagine the kind of cultural assault that we have faced, the way our culture is modified, it has been impaired, the way our institutions were ravaged, the way the development was made obsolete. Something that has been achieved over thousands of years is of no longer any relevance because of these sustained attacks on these institutions. So the question really is, what is our responsibility today? What can we do today? And there is one group which believes that we should go back to B, the glory days, where we were at the top of our civilizational arc then. And then there is the other group which believes that we should use the development model of the West, just like other East Asian countries have used, and we should copy it and develop. Now I think both these models are flawed. The first, going back to the glory days, while emotionally evocative, it is a disservice to our ancestors to go back to the point B. At the same time, blindly aping West is not a good idea. However, disregarding all the developments, innovations and cultural, social, economic experimentation that have happened in the past few centuries is equally stupid. So what is our duty? How should we address that? So the clear answer to me is that we should aim to go to point B. Now this is easier said than done because we don't know where this point D is. How do we go from C to D? Now, to my mind, there are a few clear steps. First, we need to focus our effort, one part of our effort, on finding out when was A. What was it like? What was our society like? How did we progress from A to B? How did we achieve all this development? What kind of social development happens? What kind of institutional development happened? What kind of technological development happened? And how did we reach point B? The second part of effort is to understand what kind of knowledge that we have from the era of B that is still valid. What can be learned from that? Can we surely know what is uncontaminated knowledge and debate it and look at it from today's lens? See what can be assimilated, what can be taken, what makes sense even today. Put it in, a detailed commentary. Analyze it. Look at the valid parts. Look at what has been disproven over the past 700 years. Clean it up. And then build a knowledge base that was available at point B that we can use today. The third part is basically comparing and contrasting today's technology, today's social learnings, today's morals and ethics and economics and policy and politics, and sort of mixing and matching it with what we learned and what is available, and trying to see what can be learned and how we can use that knowledge to solve today's problems and develop something that is completely new. Can we do that? Maybe we can. The fourth part of this effort should be trying to find a path to D. But for that, we need to understand what kind of society would be like at the point D. Now this requires imagination. This requires it's like science fiction. It's like a social fiction. We'd like to imagine what the society would look like, an Indic society, point D, whenever that is. How will be the institutions then? What kind of justice will prevail? How will we conduct our internal affairs? How will there be voting? Will there be what kind of nature of institution, political institutions, social institutions? So what kind of schooling will be there? All these kinds of things need to be imagined for a future society which exists, future Indic society which exists at point D. Then the final effort is to move from today's society to there. Now that itself is a long drawn process. It's full of trial and error, where we'll be making some policy guesses, we'll be making some educated ventures, failing many times. But how much can we achieve towards a society? Even this, the social fiction that we have created, our image, our imagination of a society at D will change, will evolve as we experiment with new things. How can we do it without troubling the entire population? How can we improve livelihoods and general experience of life while moving towards that point D, which we don't know where it is and how it looks? So that is the answer. We are at C, and I think we should go towards D. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our channel. Follow us on our social media, Twitter, Instagram, Parler. Also join us for our long form discussions on our podcast, which we live stream on an app called Leher. So you can download this app and join us live at Saturday 4 p.m. every Saturday. Check out our website where you can find more information and blogs related to this topic, and also some of the materials that we have shown in this video and other videos. And thank you for listening, and have a nice day.